Love, light, and blessings. The Shamanic Iraq Priestess here. I'm going to make this very quick video. There's a topic I wanted to talk about, and I did say I was going to talk about it in the month of July. And that topic is not letting someone know what spirit rules over your head. So everybody has a spirit court. We all have a guardian and guiding angel, at least in the background that I come from, in our spiritual beliefs, that's what we believe in. And everybody has spirits that rule certain parts of their body. The most important spirit is the one that rules your head. And so, if someone knows what spirit is mounted on you, because there's certain rites of passages where they put on your saints. Like my daughter recently just got her spirits put on her, so montándole los santos. Um, and she's not allowed to tell outsiders who these spirits are because a person can literally drown your spirits. So even though I do talk about certain spirits, I did Alicia's videos and things of that nature, I never shared what spirits rule my head. Because if someone is envious or anything of that nature and they know what kind of spirit you have, they could bind it, they can use it against you. They can use the negative aspect of it, especially if you're not attending to your spirit. Okay, so it's very important that you keep the spirits that rule your head to yourself and to those that you trust around you. I tell that to people all the time. There are certain rituals that they will do to drown your spirit, and then you're going to have to seek the help of someone like me that is going to undrown your spirit, which can be a long time consuming process. So if you have spirits that have been put on you, that have been adjusted on your head, placed in you, you should not tell somebody who is your main spirit. In my culture, we don't do that. That's why we don't show our altars. We don't show our workings. When I did the video, I showed the ones in my living room because those are not the spirits that rule my head. People don't know who they really are. Those are more of a shrine and an honoring type of altar, an ancestral altar, and spirits that my ancestors may have served, but it's not the spirits that rule my head. That is in my spirit room. And as you guys know, I do not film in there other than one time when I was showing candles, and I was very careful not to show my altars because I don't even let anyone know, not even my closest friends, who rules my head. That's why sometimes in African traditional religious cultures, we cover our hair because that is a way a spirit can go into you. And you have to make sure that it's the right spirit that goes into you because a lot of harm can be caused to your person. There's a lot of deceiving spirits that would try to pass themselves off as something that they're not and create havoc into your life. It is very important to be able to have a discernment and know if a spirit is who they say they are. Those are things that I help people with. This is why I'm doing mentorship courses. These are very important things that people need to know. That's why we have certain things in the religion that I practice that's called washing. Well, it's called something else, but in English it would be head washing. Your head is washed by certain people of your direct bloodline, elders, so on and so forth, because your head is very sacred. That is your closest connection to Creator, to Divine, to God, to the spirits, to the ancestors. This is why the hair is so sacred to us. It's why we cover our hair. It's a protection thing. Okay, you will see even people using wigs. It's a protection thing. Okay, so I just wanted to touch upon that because I said I was going to make a video on that. I'm going to get really into that in my mentorship courses. The second part of this video I wanted to do was I have 29 tarot decks now, and I've gotten rid of a lot of my oracle decks. I'm going to be doing a future video on decks that I'm definitely going to purge because I did purge some of my decks already. In the video, that the ones that I didn't like the mermaid deck is gone, the chakra deck is gone, the shamanic, like there's like a bunch of decks that some of them I did love, some of them I didn't, but I wasn't using them anymore. So I've downsized my collection from almost 60, which is down to less than 50, 48, 49. So I'm actually very happy at that number, and things of that nature. And then I'm not counting the decks I'm purging because I'm getting rid of them. So I'm going to be making a video. So I'm good with the 49, and then I have some decks. I don't know if it's anywhere from 8 to 10 that I'm going to be pretty much selling dirt cheap, as low as $5, $7, and $8. So like gently used decks. I'm going to be getting rid of those, and I'm going to be making a video. I don't know if it's going to be today or another day, but I'm going to make a video. So I wanted to talk about diversity in decks. So a lot of my decks have European, the Rider-Waite is also like that, so on and so forth. But I do have some decks in my collection, is why I keep them, and I do work with them, that have people of color. So one of the decks, and the reason I bought it, is the Dame Darcy deck. Dame Darcy deck has mermaids, and they do have women of color in that deck. And that's your Dame Darcy deck. And she also has a beautiful Hierophant card, which I love, which is an interracial same-sex couple. So I love that. Okay, and that's the Dame Darcy tarot deck. So there is diversity in that one. I love this deck. I know she had issues with saying that she plagiarized. I think she redrew those cards that were in question. So, and I bought this prior to knowing the controversy, but I do appreciate the diversity in the deck. The Odisha tarot is another one as well that has beautiful African Odishas, okay? Beautiful Oya right there. She's just beautiful. And they also, in the people card, there's different shades of people. So they do have a lot of diversity. They do have beautiful African spirits. So that is the Odisha Tarot, which I love. I love their Ten of Swords, which talks about the African diaspora and the colonization and the slaughter of native people. It's a beautiful card, and it talks about how that still affects us today. So I love how woke the creator of this deck is, and it does have diversity in it. Another one that nobody really talks about is the Tarot Illuminati. Um, so they have, which very European. Um, this is the cups, and you know what I mean. So I like that because this could be also like they look German to me. So German, and Germany had its dynasties. You know what I mean. So I like that. And then you have Irish. They look Irish to me. But also she can be like Queen Elizabeth. So even Queen Elizabeth, um, she was British, and she had red hair. So I like that. So you could even say, oh, it could be England, it could be Ireland. So, they all had their dynasty. Then you have people of color. You have your Asians in the pentacle suits. They kind of keep that theme throughout the deck. And then you have Middle Eastern and African in the wands. And I like that. You have people of color in the royalty suit. So this one has a lot of diversity. I like that. And then Morgan Greer tried to do for their time period, because the 70s, they do have a beautiful brown woman of color in the Nine of Pentacles. I mean, it's the only one, but they tried. And I do love the Morgan Greer. And then we have the beautiful Millionaire Tarot, which is the redrawing of the classic tarot with all different shades of people of color, as you can see, because people of color, we come in all different shapes, sizes, hair textures, and things like that. And then we have the last deck, the Silver Witchcraft Tarot. And look at this beautiful Chariot, because the Chariot's all about progress, learning lessons from the past and moving forward. And you have a beautiful interracial couple, and then the fruit of their love, which is the baby, the biracial baby. And I love that. I love that. And I love that she's in white, light and shadow. Like, I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful picture of a beautiful interracial couple. There's different races in this card. You know what I'm saying? You have a beautiful, beautiful melanated sister in this one. You know what I'm saying? So they do have, and there's other cards, I'm sure, but they do have diversity in this deck too. And it's the Silver Witchcraft Tarot. And I like it because it's a witch deck. And it's hard to find diversity sometimes in decks with witchcraft in it, or witchcraft themed decks. So I wanted to say this. There's a long way for us to go when it comes to inclusivity and diversity, but it has gotten better and it will continue to get better. And as long as we continue to voice what we want to see in these decks and things like that, because we can speak with our money. We could speak with our money, and be like, this is what we want. When they start to see that people buy those things, they're going to start doing them more. I'm not angry with the Rider Waite Smith, especially when I found out the history. It was a beautiful mixed woman who made it. I understand the time period when the Marseille deck, when Thoth, when Rider Waite Smith decks were created. She did what she can do in her time. It was the very early 1900s. And even though I don't think that's wonderful, I understand the time period in which that came from. But there's no more excuses for tarots like the ghetto tarot, which exploits poor Haitian people in the slums, or decks that create African Americans to look like caricatures or animal like things, or misappropriating, because now we know better. So if we know better, we can do better. So, and these are mass produced, because I know they have indie decks that have diversity too, but not everyone can afford those. These, with the exception of this one and Dame Darcy, are on the more affordable indie decks. Because this one's like 40 with the shipping handed, maybe 46. And I think she has it on sale now. She's gonna do a second printing of the Millionaire Tarot because she has run out of them. They sold out. And then Dame Darcy, I spent like 40 something. The rest of these decks are mass produced. So we've come a long way from the one card, because at least that was what they were doing for their time. Like I said, the Rider Waite didn't have any. The Moringa Greer has one. And now we're starting to slowly increase, and things like that. So it's important to have um, decks that represent us when it's modern. And it also depends on the style, because the Druid craft I love and I'm okay with, because it's talking about Druid, like an actual practice, and that's a European practice. So I would expect the people to look European. That does not bother me. Vision Quest is another one that is all diversity. It's all Native Americans. And I love that deck. It's the one that I'm currently working with now. So I love when it has themes of a culture and it's done respectfully, because the natives are drawn beautifully in it. The Millennium Tarot, they're drawn beautifully in it. They have beautiful African features, black features. I love that. The Orisha Tarot, it is practiced by different people. They have your Afro Latinos, they have your, and things like that, because you do have lighter skin Caribbean people that do practice that. That it's part of their culture and so on and so forth, because people do start to mix down and things like that. So I love that the creator understood that there's different cultures, but it was done respectfully. It was very inclusive. It's beautiful, but the deities still stay African. So I love that. I love that he made Osho lighter because she is a lighter. So he made different melanin, different colors, different shades for the deities. And because he's initiated into the religious practice, he had knowledge to it. So I do appreciate that. I don't have the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot anymore. I have refound the deck a home because it just did not resonate with me, but it did resonate with the person I gave to, so that made me happy. I was able to move it on to somebody that could show it some love. So much love, light, and blessings. This has been Shamanic Awac Priestess here. So I have 6 decks with diversity in it. It's not a lot. And one of them literally has a card. So you can even say really more like 5. But it's going to get better. I'm one of those people, like, I know it's going to get better. Because as more of us start to create decks and things like that, and what I mean by, like, I love indie decks, it's great, but for the average person that can't afford them, it gives me hope that mass produced decks are starting to include more diversity in them as well. So much love, light, and blessing. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next video. And if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@workpriestess.com, shamanic@workpriestess.com. Bye guys, have a blessed day.